don't really think you can say goodbye. I don't really think you can say goodbye.
Even though the Woodmore bus crash memorial has been taken down, the community doesn't have to say goodbye. The news starts now.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6 in HD.
Family members of the Woodmore bus crash victims gathered at the memorial today to say their goodbyes. Thanks for watching the news at 6. I'm David Carroll.
And I'm Cindy Sexton. The memorial site on Talley Road was taken down, but not before family members had the opportunity to take what they wanted. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Natalie Potts joins us live now from the site to explain the emotional farewell. Natalie?
Well, taking down the tent this morning was very emotional, as you can imagine. Several school officials were here, including Woodmore's principal and assistant principal. They gathered together for prayer, and there were many tears and hugs. JROTC cadets say they were honored to be a part of taking down the memorial items and preserving those items. And they took the job seriously. They handled each individual teddy bear with extreme care.
I honestly don't even know what to say.
There are no words to describe the pain and grief each of these Woodmore families must be facing. This makeshift memorial along Talley Road has grown each day in our hearts, and saying goodbye to it isn't easy.
It is hard to say goodbye, man. This is where it was at, so it's hard to forget this area. I don't really think you can say goodbye.
17-year-old LaKendria Taylor is one of many Brainerd JROTC cadets carefully packing up stuffed animals, roses, candles, and balloons with messages of hope and prayer.
Balloon that I picked up, and it had 2 bears tied to it, and it had a try me button on it. So I tried it, and it started saying a prayer. And I remember saying that prayer every night before I went to bed when I was younger.
A moment that makes the scene all too real for kids still trying to understand why.
I feel a little bit sad because my cousin was in a wreck, and it really struck close to home.
Victims' family members got first choice in the items they wanted to keep. Channel 3 respected their wishes not to be filmed. The rest of the items will be taken to Brainerd Youth and Family Development Center until a more permanent home can be found.
Those young children lost their lives, but they did touch lives in their short stay here, and they did make a difference.
For the cadets, it's a life lesson in love and strength.
Chattanooga can actually come together as one and help each other.
It means that the community of Brainerd, that we actually care about our people. We've already been through the hard part. All the thing left now is to get better.
While the makeshift memorial is now gone, community members say it will never be forgotten. There are talks of a permanent memorial one day, but nothing has been made official yet. And of course, we'll let you know if that changes. For now, reporting live in Chattanooga, Natalie Potts, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Natalie. And those items are being moved about a mile away from where the deadly crash occurred at the Brainerd Youth and Family Development Center near Brainerd High School. And we want to show you the room where the mementos will be kept that honor the 6 young lives lost on November 21st and the days afterward. 2 children remain in the hospital from that day in fair condition. Leaders at the center say many of the children from the community come to the center for their extracurricular activities. The memorial items will stay dry and protected at the center until a permanent place is decided upon.
The Hamilton County bus driver charged in the crash will appear before a judge tomorrow. Jonathan Walker is due in court for a preliminary hearing. Walker's attorney asked the judge to push his preliminary hearing in his first court date. Witnesses will be cross-examined and a judge will decide if there is enough evidence for the case to go to the grand jury tomorrow. Walker faces 6 counts of vehicular homicide. You can stay up to date on the Woodmore bus crash investigation at our website, WRCBTV.com.
Well, it's been 2 weeks since a deadly EF2 tornado swept through Rosalie, Alabama, and Cindy, I attended a family event there last weekend. It was stunning. Residents are still dealing with the damage. It's just devastating.
But one donor is making sure the damage is not going to stop the community from celebrating the holidays. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Kate Smith tells us how that family is helping the people of Rosalie get in the Christmas spirit.
In the middle of all this storm damage remains a symbol of hope for a community looking to rebuild. One by one, neighbors stopped by and hung their ornaments on this Douglas fir. The Christmas tree is now a symbol for this grieving town.
We're a community, we're a family. You know, we're not a town, we're a family.
Like much of Rosalie, Thornhill Tree Farm was damaged in last month's tornadoes. But that didn't stop the owners from donating a tree to help lift everyone's holiday spirits.
Everybody's give to us here. Everybody's been good here, so, you know, we might as well give something, you know, that's something we could give, so.
The Christmas tree in the heart of Rosalie represents new beginnings. Each ornament hung with love and holds a special story.
And they were cleaning up the shed and they found a Christmas ornament. And the Christmas ornament wasn't touched, so they actually came over here and hung it on the tree.
For neighbors, this tree is the root of their message to all those watching, that they are Rosalie strong.
Just everybody coming together, and you know, a difficult time right in the middle of the holidays, just to, you know, just to bring everybody together.
We're rebuilding, we're going to come back stronger than ever, and you know, I can't wait, I can't wait.
It's a simple gesture that brings so much healing and happiness to those affected by heartbreak and sadness, more than any present that may be found underneath.
Small town, big heart. That's exactly what we are. And everybody's just come together and helped everyone out. You can't ask for nothing better.
A local family is currently creating 3 ornaments to go on this tree in honor of the 3 victims that died in the tornado. In Rosalie, Kate Smith, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thornhill Tree Farm is still open and selling trees. On Saturday, there will be a benefit to help raise money for the victims of the tornadoes. For more information, head to our website, WRCBTV.com.
We'll file this next story under the category of places you don't want to commit a crime. A man was arrested for vandalizing police cars outside City Hall in Ringgold. Never a good idea. William Stevens is facing felony charges for vandalizing 4 police cars, and he was involved in a theft with damage at a nearby business. Ringgold police say he's responsible for thousands of dollars worth of damage, and this took place about a week ago. And the same truck involved in the incident was spotted at 5 Star Foods, damaging that property as well. William Stevens' bond is set at more than $12,000.
A large pothole is still causing major backups on Highway 27 tonight. TDOT officials say the pothole formed at the 12th Street overpass in the outside lane. The size of the pothole forced TDOT to close that outside lane and exit ramp to MLK Boulevard until repairs are made. They tried to repair it earlier today, but the repair failed. They will try again at 9 tonight. If you normally use the MLK Boulevard ramp, you'll have to find an alternate route. TDOT says this bridge is a known trouble spot for potholes.
So we'll hope that's cleared up by tomorrow, but don't count on it. The Environmental Protection Agency will expand residential lead testing to 4 Chattanooga neighborhoods. A study of lead contamination levels in residential areas is expanding to Alton Park, College Hill Courts, Richmond, and Mountain View neighborhoods next month. This is in response to a case from 2011 in which a resident who lived on Reed Avenue showed up at an emergency room with lead poisoning. That case led to an assessment of the city's south side area. Contaminated soil was removed from 52 homes, and since then, the EPA has done soil testing on a regular basis. One of our big stories today involves sports. UTC football Mocs head coach Russ Huseman is saying goodbye to the place he's called home for the past 7 years.
He is off to the University of Richmond as the Spiders' new head coach. But that's not uncharted territory for the coach. Channel 3 Sports Director Paul Shaheen joins us live here in the studio to explain. Paul.
Yeah, you are right. It is very common ground for Russ Huesman. Not only does he have family in Richmond, he won a national championship at Richmond while serving as defensive coordinator there in 2008 at Finley Stadium, in fact. Now, that was the final of 4 seasons with the Spiders. He left for Chattanooga after that, taking over a Mocs program that was winless the season before, with 10 scholarships taken away from academic sanctions. Huesman turned the tide. He leaves the Mocs after 3 Southern Conference championships, a handful of All-Americans, several NFL players, and 3 straight playoff appearances for the first time ever. Plus, the big one, 0 academic sanctions. Huesman was introduced this afternoon at Richmond.
To say what kind of special place this is, there's not many people that leave a top 10 program to take another job at the same level.
Now, coming up later in sports, more from Huesman at Richmond, some possible targets for UTC, and reaction from UTC All-American Keontae Davis with Jill Jelnick. Guys, back to you.
Paul, thank you very much. And coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, an 8-year-old cold case that has yet to be solved.
And investigators call it the cleanest murder they've ever seen. How you can help answer questions for the shooting death of Mike Mullens. Next at 6.
Now a cold case from Walker County, Georgia. Nearly 8 years ago, a well-known business owner in Flintstone was murdered in cold blood.
There were few clues then, and leads have since dried up. The hope is the passage of time may lead to more information coming out. Here's Greg Glover.
Time can work on a person's conscience, whether they're the person who committed the crime or they simply know something about it. We have up to $1,000 reward up for grabs, and we'll not even ask who you are.
This case happened December the 19th of 2008, a cold, chilly Friday morning, best I remember.
Mike Mullens had pulled into the parking lot of Premier Pattern and Machine on Woodburn Road, just across the Georgia line in Flintstone, in the pre-dawn darkness. Walker County Sheriff Steve Wilson continues.
Some of the workers heard a noise outside, but you know, working in the machine metal work business, it wasn't uncommon to maybe hear a noise, but they did, reflecting back, think they heard something.
Mullens had been shot and killed, still behind the wheel, his foot on the brake pedal. There were no prints, no shell casings, no motive.
There was intent to kill in my mind, and intent to murder when they arrived there that morning, when they waited on him. They laid in wait for him to drive, to pull in, and when he cracked open his door, or either they opened it, that was when the murder happened. And it's obvious to us as investigators he was caught completely off surprise.
Mike Mullens was a civic leader and very involved in his son's athletic teams. What could have led to this? His parents have since passed on, but his wife and son deserve answers.
I always say the community is the eyes and ears of law enforcement. And it's true in this case here that we feel someone saw something or heard something, or has heard something maybe secondhanded.
Your call could lead them to justice.
Hoping that someone out there knows about it, has it on their conscience, and would like to get it off and call us and tell us what they know about this case.
Help the authorities in Walker County clear this case and maybe clear your conscience in the process. Let your gift to this family be answers before more precious time slips by. Call Crime Stoppers. 698-3333 is the number. We'll never ask your name, even if you receive the reward cash of up to $1,000. David, Cindy.
Thank you. And we have some more information on the breaking news. Chattanooga police are on the scene of a reported stabbing on 6th Avenue.
Now, the call came in about an hour ago, and Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Sarah Sidery is reporting that at least a dozen police cars are surrounding the scene. She tells us several residents of the East Lake Courts are standing on the side of the street just waiting to hear what's happening, and 6th Avenue is completely blocked off. So not a lot of details about that stabbing near the East Lake Courts, but our crew is on the scene and we'll have updates throughout the evening. We're back with more news in just a minute.
All right, we're looking at the radar right now. All the showers are well down to the south and east of us. There is a whole lot happening off to the north, though. There is snow that's flying. This cold front, this blue line here is a cold front, and it's really cold behind it. This is all lake effect in Michigan. This is lake effect out ahead of the front. I mean, it's even in the warm sector, it's still really, really cold, and they're getting up to 2 to 3 feet in parts of western New York. So it's remarkably cold up there and nasty. Winds are out of the north at 5. It's 45 Cleveland, 48 Dalton, 43 in the city, and 37 already in Murphy. 50 and 41, the high and the low for today. Temperatures were in the 50s, generally south of the city. 52 Dalton and Chatsworth, 53 Trenton, 54 near Calhoun. Ellijay was 55, while Blue Ridge, Fort Mountain at 49. Cleveland 50, Ooltewah 50, 48 East Ridge and Ringgold, about 50 in Dunlap, 48 Signal Mountain, Red Bank about 49. Then we had 45 in Turtletown, 48 up into Spring City. Looking at Vipercast, again, the cold air diving down for tomorrow. You're really going to feel the wind tomorrow and the cold temperatures. Highs really, really cold, probably upper 30s for tomorrow. High pressure still with us, though. Means lots of sunshine for tomorrow. Clouds will be on the increase coming up into Friday afternoon. But strong southerly wind, that's what those arrows are indicating, with scattered showers developing right into late Friday night and Saturday. Saturday afternoon, the rain starts to get heavier. Overnight, the rain's very heavy and changes briefly over to a little bit of sleet or snow north and west of the city up in the plateau, mainly up over Cumberland County out near Crossville. And we could easily see in 1 to 2 inches of rain coming up for this weekend, at least Saturday night and Sunday. 26 tonight with clear skies. Winds will pick up after midnight, northerly at 10 to 15. Going to feel a lot colder. 37 tomorrow at best, with northerly winds 10 to 15 making it feel colder. Tomorrow night 23 and fair skies. 7-day forecast, 46 Friday. And then coming up on Saturday, that rain moves in with scattered showers throughout the day. Rain gets heavier Saturday night, and the first half of Sunday by noon, most of it should be over with, and then drying off Monday, Tuesday, and maybe a little more rain late Wednesday or Thursday.
Thank you, Paul. We have team coverage of the Mocs search for a new football coach when we come back.
We're getting a better idea now of why Russ Huesman left Chattanooga for Richmond. Sure, money talks, but a source confirmed today Huesman actually turned down $500,000 a year for the Delaware job 3 weeks ago. So why Richmond? Huesman has family there. They offer a rabid fan base and history. Remember, it was Huesman who led Richmond's defense in 2008 to a national title over Montana at Finley Stadium. Now to the actual money. Huesman went to bed last night in Richmond deciding between $325,000 a year at UTC, which was a raise, or a total package worth $500,000 annually with incentives at Richmond. One source said he woke up and had total peace with a Richmond decision.
There's not many people that leave a top 10 program to take another job at the same level. Chattanooga is a top 10 program. I think that says something special about the University of Richmond, the athletes that are here, the people that are here.
So there you have it, introduced today at Richmond. He will speak to the media tomorrow, 2:30 in Chattanooga. Now, before we look ahead to what's next for UTC, let's look back at why this job is more intriguing now than it was when Huesman took over. He erased winless seasons and academic sanctions. For more on that, Channel 3 sports reporter Jill Jelnick has us covered live in the studio. Jill.
Paul, to say Coach Huesman turned the Mocs program around would be an understatement. When Huesman took over in 2009, the Mocs were coming off a winless 0-11 season, not to mention missing 11 scholarships from academic sanctions. Now, flash forward 8 years later, Coach Huesman has put together the winningest stretch in program history, finishing 36-16 the last 4 years. Huesman has also helped lead the Mocs to 3 Southern Conference titles, 3 straight trips to the playoffs, and is responsible for a handful of NFL players and All-Americans. One of those All-Americans, Keontae Davis, remembers when Huesman first recruited him to be a Moc.
When Coach Huesman was recruiting me, like, he just sold us on a dream of being one of the top teams in the nation. And once everybody got there and everybody bought in, I mean, we made it happen. So, I mean, without Coach Huesman, I don't think Chattanooga would be as good as we was. So.
We'll have more from the Red Bank native Keontae Davis tonight at 11. Paul, back to you.
Thanks so much, Jill. Hey, by now, most diehard UTC fans have a list of potential replacements for Russ Huesman. So do we. Lane Kiffin, Derek Dooley, John Gruden did not make our short list. Here's 5 of our best guesses. We start at the top. Yeah, that's the wow name. Bob Shute, Vols defensive coordinator. He has Tennessee ties, used to coach at Vanderbilt, has family in Tennessee right now, one son going to school at Father Ryan. Jeff Durden, Mocs offensive coordinator, more than a decade plus of offensive coordinator jobs on the FCS level. Of course, former assistant Marcus Satterfield, now the Tennessee Tech head coach. We have Will Healy, who just took over at Austin Peay as head coach. He's a former assistant at UTC. Now with East Tennessee's ties, Jamie Chadwell coaching Charleston Southern, and boy, they have had some success under Chadwell in 4 seasons at Charleston Southern. This list is not athletic director David Blackburn's list. When I get my hands on that, I will share it with you. Until then, we have a full breakdown of those online and inside our app, WRCBTV.com. Hey, we had some other news today quickly. The Mocs were back home at McKenzie Arena hosting Tennessee Wesleyan, more than 400 elementary school students for Education Day. All Chattanooga start to finish. 6 different players reached double digits. Trey McClain led the way, 17 points, just 15 minutes of play for him. Mocs win at 107-65. They hit the road to face Vanderbilt on Saturday.
I always like to see those kids in the stands. It's a big day for them.
They party.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah. What about you, Paul?
All right, we'll check out the evening out for you. We got clearing skies, pretty much clear now. 42 to 35 by midnight. When you wake up, 26 to 30, but away from the city, it could be about 20 to 25 degrees or so when you wake up. Very, very cold night coming up. And 37 only in the city, but low 30s to near 30 degrees up on the plateau. 46 coming up Friday, and a low tomorrow night of about 23 in the city, teens elsewhere. Rain moves in Saturday, gets real heavy Saturday night and into Sunday, and we dry out on Monday.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 6.
NBC News starts now.